Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And guys, it has been a very busy day for me. I'm trying to get in a week's worth of comic reviews, hauls, and comic book countdown all within one day. And yes, I did a couple of reviews, I did the haul, and now we're at Mike Spider Slayer's comic book countdown. So, very busy day. The only thing I have left after this to do is to upload a video for Dark Avenger Inc. So, with that being said, let's jump into Mike Spider Slayer's comic book countdown. That's right, guys. Not a big week. Not this week. Not at all. I have 7 books to review and 1 on digital. So let's just jump right into it. Starting with number 8. That's right, guys. We have Xenoscope's Grim Fairy Tales, Vampires the Eternal. This is the Unleashed tie-in. The books that I had this week aren't horrible. There's nothing that's just like, oh my god, this is stupid. Just not that many books, and I can say of all the books I read, this was a little on the weaker side, I thought. We're trying to tie in the Unleashed series, and this has to do with the vampire queen Sierra. The story is not bad. It's kind of reliving her tale on how she actually became part of a vampire, and how she became this group, and then she wound up becoming this outcast, and actually setting her sights on being this queen, not just of America, but on all over the world. And she has this this guy, this vampire guy, the one that actually made her into a vampire in the first place, who she desires, and I guess cares for, as you can see in the actual issue. But in the end, there's this one vampire girl. I forgot her name. I don't remember exactly what it was, and I'm not going to search for it. But she's obviously jealous of Sierra, and at the end of the issue, as she's reuniting with her vampire lover, we can see as she's on top of her, on top of him, she comes up and she wants to kill her. So obviously she doesn't die, because this is a tie-in before Unleashed actually happens. And then the next issue continues with, I guess Van Helsing is in it. So it was a solid read. The kind of thing that's a turnoff for me on this particular story arc or mini-series is the actual artwork. I'm not a really huge fan of this particular artwork in this series. The story of Sierra is an interesting story to learn about the character, but it's not necessary on the Unleashed series. Patrick Shan does do a good job in writing the character, so you get to know her a little bit better for the Unleashed story. So if I give this one a rating, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Number 7. Iron Man, The Secret Origin of Tony Stark. Well, all as I can say is that artwork is a fucking lot better in this issue, because what's his name is not in it. I forgot his name all of a sec. Greg Land is not doing the artwork. It's Dale Inglesham, and right away you can see that the artwork is better. It's an improvement from what it was, and the secret origin of Tony Stark is quite interesting. I mean, is it really necessary? I don't know. I don't think so. But what this goes back to is this goes back in time to where you learn about Tony Stark and his history, or Tony Stark's father and his mother was pregnant, I guess, with him, and they were losing the baby. And Tony goes back and wants to do anything possible to save his unborn child, because the baby is supposedly to die. Robot 451 is a major player in this story, and he pretty much has to do, I think, with the survival of Tony Stark as an unborn child. Lots of crazy stuff with aliens and a different team called the Stark Seven, but this was back in the old days, and a weird gray alien race. Is it necessary in the Iron Man universe? No, I don't really think so, but it was an interesting read, and I'm going to try to do a review on Dark Avenger Inc. on this because there's a lot of storytelling in this to actually understand what's going on. But it wasn't half bad. It got me interested to see what happens in the next issue, and I'm going to give this one probably just over 3 out of 5 stars. A lot better. At least there's a real story going on than all the other stuff. So, Iron Man issue number 10, 3 out of 5. I'll leave it up to you if you want to buy it. Number 6. Death Fox, issue number 1. If you guys can see this image on here, Death Fox is a book done by What the Flux Comics that I had just received, and I actually just did a review on it, and it is an interesting story that has to do with a mixture of futuristic western slash water world type of story where it has this heroine rescuing her mother, which is the current Lady Fox. And in the issue, her mother passes away, and Aurora, which is this main character's name, she's the one that becomes the next Lady Fox. Lots of supporting cast characters, interesting, creative enemies that were created in this world. It's definitely a book to check out. The book was written by, just give me a second here, Aaron Thal, and the pencils and letters were done by Larry Jarrell. Very good book. If you're looking for something different, this is a book to check out. It's, again, from What the Flux Comics. I just did an in-depth or a full review on this book if you want to check it out and find out more about it. Again, it's called Death Fox issue number 1, and that was number 6 on the countdown. So, next, number 5. Top 5. Whoa, no, not that. This. Age of Ultron. Book 8. I also did a full review on this, because how can you tell in a nutshell what this is all about? There's 4 different timelines going on in this series. There's the current timeline that we all read that has nothing to do with Age of Ultron. There's this elsewhere story that's going on from when Ultron first appeared. Then it's the time when Invisible Woman and Logan went back in time to kill Hank Pym. They come back in time. They come to this Defenders, and Tony Stark is this ruler of the Defenders. And then there's the future group of characters that went into the future to stop Ultron, and that's Nick Fury and other people, which I don't remember at this point. And now the whole timeline is messed up because you got magic people versus tech people, which is Madame LeFay and Tony Stark. And are you lost yet? I swear to God, I couldn't give this one a real rating because it's all over the place. But it was an entertaining issue, and it was a decent, I guess a fun read, and visually nice to look at when it comes to seeing what Tony Stark has become in this series. And I mentioned this before, but Emma Frost just got mighty voluptuous in this actual series, and Professor Xavier is well and alive as well. So if you're interested in reading Age of Ultron, go out and check it out. It's definitely taking a crazy turn, and how it all wraps up will be an interesting tale. So, Age of Ultron, number 5 on this week's countdown. Number 4, Batgirl, issue number 20. That's right, Gail Simone writes about the ventriloquist. And the ventriloquist is this crazy little girl that got this puppet by this girl's name is Shauna, and she was made fun of when she was a little girl. And the funny thing is that she come across this Rainbow Roddy guy, and she picks up this little ventriloquist dude, and it like possesses her, has her do all these evil and crazy things, and like kills people. And she goes on this America's Got Talent type of show to try to do ventriloquism, but the judges just like rag on her the whole time, and the puppet goes crazy, and she goes crazy, and there's puppets killing American Idol like judges with little drills in the hands, and it's just weird. And then like you have Barbara Gordon trying to come to grips about what she did to her brother, James Gordon Jr., and lots of interesting things in here. This book seemed like a filler issue to me, and Commissioner Gordon is pretty much going to get Batgirl for what she did to his son. And there's a little battle sequence in here as well with the little puppet and Batgirl as well. So the art is very desirable in this book. I really enjoyed it. The story was quite interesting, a little disturbing and weird all at the same time. But Batgirl is definitely a good series. Wasn't like the best issue for me, so I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5 stars. All right, where are we? Number 3, top 3, Vibe, issue number 4. Vibe was like, this issue was like lots of dialogue, trying to find out what's going on in it, and by the end of it, you're just like, well, damn, now I gotta go out and buy something else. But it got me interested because it really threw you in there. It has Vibe going after Gypsy. That's what this particular issue is about. And there's warnings from Breacher trying to warn Cisco about Jesus, I'm just overloaded today, about Argus and how bad they are, and they'll threaten you and threaten your family and do things. Well, Vibe is on this mission to stop Gypsy. She escaped last time. And we find out where Gypsy comes from. She comes from this other world. She's lost from her planet and her dimension. And she says that Earth reminds her, this thing that was going on in the park today reminded her of how her planet was. And in this issue, you really get a feel of Vibe. The guy's a good kid. He really wants to do well. And, he's trying to get information from Gunn about what Argus is and what it represents, and he's just like, follow the missions, kid, do what you have to do. And let's just say you see Batman come flying in here. It's not really Batman. That would be crazy if it was, though. But it's really Gypsy in the actual issue. So then what happens is he finally captures Gypsy. He puts the Argus team members behind rubble, traps them all. He says he wants to help Gypsy. And it's cool because you actually get a visual of what Vibe actually sees when he's not concentrating on somebody. And this is what he saw at first, and then he comes to realization is what she looks like right here. And he's like, whoa, hi, you're hot, And he tries to rescue her. He wants to do the right thing. And Amanda Waller steps in, and she's like, Vibe's gone AWOL. He's gone crazy. We have to do what's the right thing. So send out the Suicide Squad. And you're like, damn, now the Suicide Squad's going to go after Vibe. What the hell's going on? And when I saw this page, I'm like, I got to get Suicide Squad now. I haven't read Suicide Squad in a while. It got a little weird, but looks like I'll have to read Suicide Squad to see what's happening. I know this is to tie in to get sales for another book, but Suicide Squad's not such a bad title. I just stopped collecting it because of money issues, but I'm going to read the next issue. This was a fun read. I liked it. I was kind of thinking, where are they going to go with this? How does Batman fit in all this? And when I saw this, I'm like, cool, this is awesome. So I can't wait to see what happens in 5. And we're still on that cliffhanger about Darkseid's daughter, so there's all that's involved in this series also. So I enjoyed this issue number 4, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Number 2, Nova, issue number 4. Nova was a good read this week. He's going, the Chitauri actually is going after him, and let's just say that they want to destroy Earth, destroy Nova, destroy the helmet, and destroy everything. And we get to see an introduction to the new character, one of Nova's worst enemies, and that is Titus, this lion-like creature, or tiger-like, white tiger creature, which is really cool. And the book has to do with a story of his background, where he came from, how Sam's father betrayed Titus because he wanted to see his son being born, and he didn't get that. And then what happens is that you get to see the Chitauri actually invade the Nova Corps, or the Supernova Corps at that time, and take care of Titus. He surrendered to him, and he's giving them this crazy coffin thing that's this secret weapon. And what happens is Nova escapes, and we get to see him hide this device. At the end, Nova goes back home, and let's just say at the end of this issue, you get to see Titus looking a little insane because he has the Nova helmet in his hand. This was a badass book. I really enjoyed this book. This was a 4 3/4 stars for me. I don't know why I didn't give it a 5. This is definitely a good series. But there's just one book I liked a little bit better, and it's just a really story-driven book that makes me want to keep reading more and more, and that was Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 23. This was number 1 on the list. This was Spider-Man No More. I did do a full review on this book on the channel, so if you guys wanted to check out that full review, go ahead. This book was very good. It takes place 1 year after Miles's mother had passed away, and you get to see relationships try to develop. You get to see relationships come back together after being a year away. You get to see Katie Bishop in here. You get to see Gwen Stacy. Now, I made it a thing to say that the artwork is different on this issue, but it is very nice artwork to look at. Facial expressions are impressive in this book, and the way it grabs you is by the character's eyes. You look in the eyes, and you see that glisten in their eyes, and you get to feel that emotion through a character. That's why I like this. They really focused on that in this issue, and it fits it because this book has a lot of emotion in it. You get to see Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, in this issue trying to convince Miles to become Spider-Man once again. Love the shield web shooters. Very, very awesome. And you see the relationship between Miles and his father, how they want to possibly go away, get away out of the city. And then at the end of the issue, you get to see 2 characters that I haven't seen in a while, and that was Cloak and Dagger and a new character by the name of Bombshell. Very great story, just lots of, I don't know, what do you want to call it, drama. How is Miles Morales going to become Spider-Man? Is he going to be thrown into it again? Even though there wasn't really any action in this book, I truly, truly enjoyed the story. And I think that's what gave me the edge on this just by a bit. This story was almost just as equal, but I didn't give it a 5 because I'm still adjusting to that artwork. So they're both about the same, but maybe because I'm a Spider-Man fan, I might have given it the edge a little bit more, but it still was a 4 3/4 stars, not a perfect 5. So, guys, that is the countdown for this week. Again, only 8 books. shorter video, around 20 minutes or so. So guys, tell me your thoughts on these books that you read this week. And guys, this is the last video for a while, except when I come back and I do my Star Wars video from Hollywood Studios. So I will probably shoot another video maybe sometime early next week. So guys, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. And guys, I'll see you in the next comic book review. Take care, everyone. I'll see you real soon. Bye.